if you can't explain a process to a 6-year-old, you probably don't understand it well yourself. And there's something about an A3 that's almost like a comic book for problem solving. It just, the visual, the simplicity, not only does it make it easy for anybody to kind of jump in, see what the problem was, it really ends up telling a story. It starts with a situation, introducing characters and the problem they're facing. It talks about how they got through it, and then it explains how, they lived happily ever after, or at least should if they, maintain what it is that they put into practice. The picture is worth so much more than anything they could write in. And generally, by the time an A3 project has been completed, so much has happened that I'm not sure you could really clearly communicate the scope of what was accomplished with just text.
If you're always going to be updating that, where are we at in the project? What are we waiting on? Where's our hang up? What's getting done? What's not getting done? And so it really is a living document.
The A3 was a pretty fluid document through the process. Many times we would actually use the A3 up on the main screen in our meeting room during the team meeting, and we would use it not only to drive the investigation and figure out what our action items would be, but we would also use it to try and review, okay, what worked, what didn't, and many times you start with some action items, scatter, gather your data and bring it back, and then the A3 became a helpful kind of filter for the data we had grabbed as well. When you're limited to only one sheet of paper or just a really short, how do you keep this high level, practical, get the main point across, it sort of forces you from, or it kind of prevents you from, hitting a bunch of different data points that may or may not be relevant just for the sake of including them.
Yeah, keeps you
we
focused.
kind of have to step back and think, yeah, but what was our goal?
I definitely want the A3 with me, whether it be on the floor or whether it be a scheduled team meeting to discuss it. When it's a scheduled team meeting, we usually pull up the electronic version and we're modifying it as we go through the meeting so that it says everything we want and we have it typed and organized and evolving into the finished product. The breakthroughs come more from the people that have to do the process day to day. When we schedule a meeting, that can be go to Gemba too. Let's go out to the floor with this as a team, and let's take this meeting time, and this is our time to focus in on the project.
So when you're doing a project and you have some breakthroughs, you find an answer to some question, an important question, is that typically happen in the team meetings or when you're out investigating in the plant?
It kind of depended on the way that the project was working. So if it was something where we decided to do a Kaizen blitz and make an A3 about it, meaning we basically set aside a couple of days or a full day and just the entire team comes together and attacks the issue. At that point, it was just talking with a cross-departmental, cross-functional team where everybody brings kind of the background they came from to the meeting. Other times, if the A3 drove our research, everybody would get some action items, and then it's again, everybody scatters, runs back to where they are, and they have now sort of the A3 provided action item that's their homework until our next meeting. They go out there, and a lot of the findings would come from the kind of boots back on the ground in each phase of what we're trying to improve.